So then the bigger picture, actually, is that Arsenal are only 1 point off worse at this stage than they were last year. I mean,
yeah,
it's pretty unbelievable if you think about it.
Vibes are different, I think. I think, look, if you'd have said to me a few weeks ago you could be within a point's difference of where you were last year, but you'll have lost Bukayo Saka for, 3 months maybe, I wouldn't mind being 4 points behind and having Saka still here. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's still such a challenge to see us really overcome what we've lost with Bukayo. But we're going about it the right way. We're winning games. As you say, we're trying different things on that right flank. And I think most importantly, we're scoring goals. So we're getting enough goals, and we're seeing other goal scorers emerge. And we're not losing some of the things we're good at. And I think that is important. And the league title is such a difficult one because you look at the season Mo Salah's having, and it's just so hard not to see him lifting a trophy, right?
Oh, yeah.
But if it's not them, it has to be us. And I think that's the most important thing is we stay on their tails now.
What about Nottingham Forest?
No.
I'm glad you said it.
Hey, there's an underdog all the time.
I mean, look, Leicester City did it.
Yeah,
Leicester City weren't up against Liverpool or Arsenal.
Okay.
Like, these two teams, and I would definitely put Arsenal at least on a par with Liverpool. I actually think we are a better team than Liverpool. But the difference at the moment is they've got Mo Salah, who's playing like prime-time Messi, isn't it? It's just it's unbelievable. But I still believe, even though there's that big gap, I still believe we're the more rounded team. But whether that wins us the title or not, it remains to be seen.
I agree. I don't know about you. I still look back at that game and I think if Gabriel Magalhaes doesn't go off injured, we beat them at home. And that's what gives me hope, is the fact that I watched them for 90 minutes and I didn't think they were a better team than us.
Yeah, and Arteta made that point actually in his last press conference before the end of the year was, look, if Liverpool carry on, win all these games, you say fair play, we go next season, but if they slip up, you need to be there. And I think that's basically the message to the team would be, you've got to be right on them. Because I think Liverpool would have looked at that game yesterday and thought, Arsenal could lose that.
Yeah.
No Saka, no Havertz, Brentford's a difficult place to go. Just got to keep on them and hope when these games do come thick and fast like they do now, there's that slip, you're there to pounce. And Arsenal showed last year they can go on a big run of games, and that I think will be something that will help the squad. In a run-in, they've put a run together and they can, if they're there and thereabouts, they can put the pressure on.
So I have another stat for you guys. So Arsenal topped the calendar year table for 2024. It's the third time we've done it since we won the league. The other times we did it were 2015 and 2013. So maybe not a stat we want to be known for. Is it time maybe to put this together for a full season and change the stats a little bit?
I thought you were going to say, is it time that the Premier League gave out a trophy?
Well, maybe they should. Actually, you know what? Premier League, give out a trophy for that instead. There we go, we said it.
Is it time to start singing that at the away fans? Top of the calendar year for 30 years running. You've never sung that.
Yeah, see, no one can do that, can they?
No, we do need a trophy. I think you can see with this group of players. For me, if I don't have a concern about the project, quote unquote, long term, because I think ultimately we are doing the right things. We're getting better year on year. No one wants to hear it. We've been incredibly unlucky this year. We have. No one wants to hear that, but we have. I've not seen anyone else get sent off for 2 reds, one of them being for kicking the ball away. That hasn't happened since it happened to us twice and cost us points twice. We've been unlucky, but it doesn't change the fact that there are some incredible footballers in our team who need to be lifting trophies soon. Players like William Saliba, who, by the way, no one's talking about it. He was unbelievable last night. I thought he had a fantastic second half. Players like that need to be winning things. Like, we're going to get to May, Saliba's going to have 2 years left on a contract again. I think Saka's in a similar position. Like, we do need to win things now. It has been 5 years under Arteta. I don't go into how much money we've spent stuff, because I think it's rubbish, because I think most other teams have actually spent more than us. But there are just players who are coming into the prime of their careers at Arsenal Football Club. And maybe I'm speaking with the PTSD of the Wenger era, watching great players leave us to go and win trophies elsewhere. But I don't want to lose any of this core group because they need to win elsewhere. I want them to win at Arsenal, and we have to do that soon.
That's why I think the Carabao Cup is important, just to have the experience as a group of winning something together. And I was looking at it before the last round, the quarter-final. The only one in this team, or in this squad, who was played in the FA Cup final when Arsenal won it was Kieran Tierney. So no one else in that squad has lifted a trophy on it, because Saka didn't get on the pitch that day. So no one else has had that experience of lifting a trophy. And I just think for that group, people obviously, it's the Carabao Cup, but I just think for them to win something together, just to have that day, even when they won it in 2020, there were no fans there. So I just think for Arteta and this group to win a trophy like that when you're 3 games away from doing it would be really, really big. And the point is in the season. And you need something tangible from your time at the club for Arteta. You know, there's a lot of good things he's done. Culture's been great, you know, style of play, but something to actually show that this is what I've done. I think he needs it, and that's why this period is really big.
It's an elite team. Arsenal are top draw.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking, you know, the highest level of European football. That's where Arsenal are at the moment. It's too good a team not to win trophies. So I'm confident. I'm confident that we'll get, you know, 1 of the 4 at least this season. And that should just ease that worry that Jacob's got. And I understand that worry. But I just think if you're a player playing in this Arsenal team at the moment, whether you're winning trophies or not, I don't think you're thinking about leaving.
I hope not. But when those meetings come along to talk about contracts, that will be part of the conversation.
Of course,
and there's something you mentioned there, which, you know, it's going to sound daft, but, you know, day after New Year's Day, why not say something daft? You mentioned that this is an elite team in Europe. Yeah. I think we are. We talk about the Carabao Cup. We say that we're staying on Liverpool's tail in the Premier League. There's 2 other trophies, and one of them's Champions League. Mm-hmm. I look at this team, and the fact that I truly believe we're the best defensive team in Europe right now. Mm-hmm. I don't think that defence is bettered by anyone. I also look at the head-to-head games we've had with the top 6 over the last 18 months or so. I don't think I've seen a top 6 team be better than us over 90 minutes. Bayern Munich last year scarred me a bit. I have a feeling that this team doesn't really have too much to fear over 2 legs with anyone in Europe. I think we lack one more elite attacker. Yeah. And I think we know that Arsenal and the board are looking at that this January. Mm-hmm. If they could come up with that, and we know that Bukayo Saka, maybe not the round of 16, maybe the quarterfinal, maybe certainly the semi-finals, you'd hope for him to be back.
Maybe the final.
Well, yeah. Look, we don't know the ins and outs of that injury, but he's going to be back at some point this season. Arteta's told us that. I look at that competition. It sounds mad,
no,
but I don't fear anyone. I'm not scared by anyone in Europe, and I think if you look at leagues, I think you need to be able to score goals consistently, and I think you need an elite attacker. And more often than not, when there's one team in the league who's got the best attacker, that attacker lifts the trophy. I think you can go back through the Champions League. It's often the best defence that wins that tournament. Yep. And I do look at us, and I don't know, I've got a funny feeling.
I like the feeling.
I like the feeling. It's a different feeling to the one you had earlier, so I like this one. Let's stick with this one. Let's go with this one.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.